Welcome everyone to episode 71 of Around the Book podcast. It's crazy to think we've been doing this for 71 weeks.
A
So
lot of
appreciate,
lot of bad picks.
yeah, a lot.
Whole lot of them.
I don't even want to know how much money has been like. I don't even
Set
want
on
to
fire during this time
I
period.
don't even want to talk about it. But we appreciate you guys watching for 71 episodes. Sadly, college football is gone. I was sitting there before the episode thinking, like, oh man, I wish we had like a shitty Thursday night football game tomorrow. Like, I will take like the Saints and Panthers on Thursday night right now, or something crazy like that. Like, give me like the Giants and Browns.
It's not even over yet either.
Yeah, it's not even over yet. But college football is over. Sadly, the NFL's coming to an end. We have 3 games left. This week we'll be going over the conference championships, giving you a little bit of recap of this past season of college football, how we thought we did betting, and possibly an early pick for next year's champion. I know it's a little bit early to talk about that, but better late than never, or better early than never, I guess I would say. But let's go ahead and get into our non-football picks here, because that's what we're going to be getting into after 3 weeks from now. We're going to have a lot of golf, then baseball coming up, and then at that point it's going to be like UFL or whatever the hell it is now, Canadian Football League. So, darts. I mean, we'll figure something out. So, who's got some non-football picks for us this week?
Jake, you want to start?
Yeah, I have NBA, NHL, and some soccer bets.
Jake's like, I'm just gonna start
That is-
getting
yeah.
you guys used to it right now.
Yeah.
Should I just start running through them? Or
Yep, just
Yeah,
run
go
through
like
them.
specific leagues that we want to focus on first? Or
No, go ahead. I think next week we'll like have a little bit more structure when it comes to our non-football picks, because we'll literally
Yeah.
have no football to bet on.
Except for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Can you bet on the
Yeah,
Pro Bowl skills challenges?
I don't know.
Listen, if we can though, we'll find a way.
We'll try to figure it
we'll
out.
find a way.
I was looking for it, but I couldn't see anything just yet.
Betting on fucking
Any dodgeball bets?
or whatever. Yeah, dodgeball
Yeah.
bets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead, Jake.
watch us just be like super good at that after sucking. At
Oh, I'd
football.
be excellent at that. I guarantee. I don't know why, but I would.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a 3-leg for the NBA and NHL. So this is all for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, I have the Pacers -3 against the Spurs. Pacers had a pretty rough start to the year, but they've been on fire recently. And they're at home against the Spurs, who are kind of falling off a little bit. And then I got Bucks -5 against the Heat. Bucks are also at home, and the Bucks have also been on fire after a bad start. And the Heat just suspended Jimmy Butler for 2 games. So
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
they have. They did indeed
He
do
just
that.
loves
For
being
what?
a Heat player.
For
I don't
wanting to
know.
be
I
traded.
saw a headline that he got. I think he
Pretty
was
much.
late for like a flight or
Yeah,
something.
he basically doesn't want to be on the team, but they won't
Yeah.
trade him. So he's like, I'm just not doing shit. And they're like, all right, fuck you then, basically.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, he
Jimmy
requested a
Butler's
trade like
happy?
Yeah, right? never heard of it.
Yeah. But yeah, Heat aren't very good right now. So give me the
I'm
Bucks
aware,
there,
unfortunately.
and then I'm taking the Nuggets -7 against the Kings because the Kings are on the road and it'll be a back-to-back, and they're bad on the road and bad on back-to-backs. So that's a recipe for a 15-point loss there, especially against the Nuggets team that's good at home. And then for NHL, I got Canadians money line +105 against the Red Wings. This is a pretty even matchup, so I'm just going with plus odds here. Blue Jackets +235 against the Hurricanes. I was surprised to see the odds this high just because Columbus is kind of a surprise good team this year. They're a wild card team right now. So +235 just feels a little rich, so I'm taking that. And then we got the Sharks money line +195 against the Preds. Because the Sharks played the Predators in Nashville last night, and they had a 5-1 lead in second period, and they ended up losing 7-5. Sharks hockey right now, but this is a team that can score goals and really should have destroyed. I mean, the Preds were on blowout watch last night. I think they're going to come in pissed off. and they're at home, so I'm taking that. And then I have 4 soccer bets for tomorrow. These are real teams, despite how ridiculous the names.
I'll be.
What league
we'll
are
see.
what league are we betting on here?
So this is Europa League, which
Okay.
is
That's not
basically
all right.
that's a real thing.
Okay.
So
all right.
in soccer, they have the Champions League, which is all of the best teams in Europe, and then the Europa League is like the second.
Not as good teams
class.
in Europe.
Yeah, like another competition. It's like the NIT basically.
Oh my god.
Gotcha.
All right. That's pretty sick. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm taking Eintracht Frankfurt money line -175 against
Same.
Ferencváros. I don't know how to say that.
All
though.
right.
I know for a fact that I butchered it.
All right.
These are pretty much just all favorites.
Gotcha.
Ajax -250 against.
Who? Wait, can you repeat that? It wasn't.
It's AJAX, but it's pronounced Ajax. They're in
Okay.
Amsterdam.
Just want to make sure. I was like, I thought I just didn't hear you say what it was for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what team they're playing. It's just FK and then RFS. So I don't know what that stands for. I did not do research, but
Gotcha.
I'm taking
Yeah,
Ajax.
what a
They're-
better way to bet on this podcast than other way than saying I did not do the research.
Yeah.
I don't know what these letters mean. I don't care, but I'm taking the favorite. You know what? It's respectful, honestly.
I'm going in blind. I don't even
Yes.
know the name.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah, and then Jake's gonna be like, "I won all my bets, by the way." So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, shit.
I'm gonna do that and then lose all my football bets.
Probably.
I was gonna say my
Okay.
dude goes to Europe one time. Now he's an expert.
Right.
at
Let me see how
soccer.
many soccer bets I can make this week. No, anyway. Yeah.
All right, and then last game, I'm taking Lazio money line +135 against Real Sociedad.
Okay, those two are the ones that I believe the most. I think.
Yeah.
Those sounded like things that exist, so I'll
Yeah.
give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Appreciate it. That's all my non-football bets. So thank you guys for going on that journey with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do better there. Then I'm excited for other sports to bet on because it's been all
Yeah.
football, which is fun, but I just
Been
have
a
not
rough
been
one.
doing very well.
It's
Yeah.
a rough one.
We've been getting our ass beat in football.
Well, it is officially that point in the year where we got golf bets are back.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So we got the Farmers Insurance Open. I believe that actually started today, I think. But I did get a few bets in. We've got I have a winner bet, and then I have a 3-leg top 20 parlay. So for my 3 guys to finish top 20, I mostly went with guys that are just playing pretty well as of late, that are pretty safe to finish top 20. I took Hideki Matsuyama. He's -175 to finish top 20. Sahith Theegala, he's -105. And then to beef up the odds, I also took Maverick McNeely, +135. He won a tournament a couple of weeks ago. Those 3 guys combined to finish top 20. Their parlay is at +620.
Did you just pick like the 3 names you like that looked the weirdest for this parlay?
I mean, they're just guys that are playing well. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's
already
just,
got to win this year. Hideki
Is
and
that
Maverick both have wins already. Have great years last year. And Sahith Theegala is just a good golfer.
Yeah.
He hasn't played great as of late, but
Yeah.
he's fairly reliable. So I trust him at this course this week. And then guys playing really good golf and getting tremendous value to win. Give me Jason Day to win at +2,200.
Shout out
Farmer
Ryan Day.
Insurance Open at Torrey
So
Pines.
just to let you know, so live update for you, Dalton.
Uh-oh.
Matsuyama's tied for 18th right now, -4. And then you said also,
Yeah.
who were the other ones again? McNeely is tied for 49.
Theegala's tied for 65.
Yeah.
This is just the first day, right?
Through one
Yeah.
day, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And,
Rookie.
I don't see Jason Day is +2, unfortunately, right now.
Oh, what's the line
Yeah.
looking at right now on there? What's the cut?
Where's Jason
cut
Day at?
He's +2, tied for 117th.
Uh-oh.
Great. Great.
Yeah, so that one I would say might not be in your favor, but the other three look okay. At
There's
least
3
like
more days.
yeah. You got leader Auberg, I'm guessing.
Ludwig
Is
Oberg.
Oberg.
Yeah.
He's been who's hurt right now? There's a big name that's hurt right now.
Not
I
sure,
can't think
but
of it, but that's
I
why.
hate betting on Oberg. If Oberg
Yeah.
were like, we went through this all year last
Yeah,
year.
we did. Fuck Oberg. We're not betting on him this year. Every time we'd bet on him, he'd fucking shit the bed. Then as soon as you wouldn't bet on him, he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna finish."
Well,
top
no,
three."
he'd play great for 2 days and then
Yeah.
shit the bed.
He's 6th in the world right now. Damn.
Yeah, because he's really good. Like he would eat on the live tour. They
Yeah,
only play 3 rounds.
yeah. He might be a generational player on the Live Tour.
would be, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Uh,
good. That's good stuff.
Damn. Now I'm excited. I'm betting golf next week. All right, now I'm
All right.
excited. I forgot how fun it was to do the top 20s.
I'm gonna have to learn me some golf after 10 years of not really paying attention to it too much. So
That was fun.
But-
Betting on golf, especially live betting golf, is
I think
overrated.
golf sounds.
Live betting the individual holes. It's my
Oh
favorite.
Yes.
God, that's
Especially if
insane.
you're like hanging out
Sometimes-
at a bar or something.
Yeah.
Like
Let me just
it
drop a
is-
couple on this real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It can get really fun.
There's nothing better than that Scott Van Pelt Masters commercial that starts to hit like early January, and it's like Georgia, and you're like Scott Van Pelt comes on. All right, it's springtime. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like it just gets you hyped.
There you go.
The best is you have what you do is like if you're out somewhere like where there's golf on the TV, you have your spouse just pick names for each hole that they like and have them make bets. Putting $1 on each hole, it's fun.
That's sick. That's sick.
I'm gonna have to do that.
I like that.
All right, Shane, you got any non-football picks this week?
I do. So I had. What the hell? Okay, there we go. So I had 3 NBA picks together for tomorrow. I had Lakers plus 5.5 at home against Celtics. Celtics are unbelievably bad against the spread this year. It's actually kind of insane. They're like 15-28 or something like that, or whatever it is against the spread. So they're winning still, but they're not winning the way they did last year. Obviously, not quite as good of a team this year. So I'll take Lakers cover at home. Clippers minus 13. I'm at the at home against the Wizards because it's the Wizards. I don't know if I really need to explain beyond that. They have 6 goddamn wins, which feels impossible, but it is what it is. And Trailblazers plus 9 at the Magic. Magic are still kind of banged up and just haven't been playing very well. And Portland's a little bit better against the spread than they are outright. And Magic kind of in the middle there too. So I'll take Portland plus 9.
Like it. All right. While we were sitting here talking, I had to put me a top 20 in golf together. I had to do
So
it.
that's cool shit. Anyway, here's my top 20s for golf.
I felt like I was missing out here, so I just had to do this. And I'm
You're gonna bet on it a day into the.
a day
Yeah.
into it,
Hey,
and,
he has more information on that, Sheldon. He has more
Yeah.
information. So.
and I'm gonna go with a guy I know, and then a couple guys I've never even heard of.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna try this name, and I don't even know if I'm gonna say it right, but we're trying it. So top 20, I got 3 guys. Tony Finau.
Heard about him.
Okay, so like he has burnt me like crazy last year. Like every time I bet him, he just terrible.
Nice.
But we're gonna test it out this year. The first time I bet on him, let's see if he's at top 20 right now. He's at plus 170, so we'll see what happens. Chan Kim, never heard of this dude, but we're betting on him. And then Jackson, I'm assuming Koivu. If I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sorry. I know you're watching, but I take those 3 guys at plus 1,147. Let's just ease into this with a nice plus 1,000 parlay into golf on the fly. So there we go.
You know, this feels like a tournament that Finau would win.
It does.
I think
So
that's-
like,
he'll never win like a big tournament, but these little ones where like there's not the top
Crushes.
golfers, like this is where he shines.
yeah. And right now he is, where is he at? Plus 7,500 to win.
Did he win a major last year?
I
I don't think so.
don't think he did. I think he got top 3 like once. He might have won one, but I don't think he had like too much success last year.
No,
I could be
Tony
wrong.
Now has never won a major. Nope.
Oh, he's never even won. But
Nope.
all right.
Zero
Let's not
major
crack.
wins.
You know what? Your slate is clear with me, Tony Finau, if you finish top 20 this week. So that's all you got to do. That's a win in my book. That's basically like winning a major in my book. So
In
Top 20
Casey's,
at the Farmers Open.
Yeah.
in Casey's pocketbook, that is a
Yeah.
win. Or a major win.
all right. So let's go ahead and get into this conference championship weekend for the NFL.
Are we talking? Are we doing college stuff?
Oh yes, sorry. I almost forgot. We are at the top. And it feels great. It's like I don't even know what to do. Like it was like poetry in motion, just watching them destroy Notre Dame and then watching Notre Dame come back a little bit. And I did get a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I was getting a little nervous.
I was a little nervous for you.
I was getting a little nervous.
I was
Right
worried I
there.
was going to see a
Right
message
when-
in the chat whenever that was. I was like, do not open your phone, Casey. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was-
I was not.
It was right when
Uh,
Ibuka fumbled after that long.
Yeah, when he fumbled that one, I was grasping. I was like, dude, a fiber of his sock hit the freaking turf. Let's go. But no. But at the top again, if you think this is a Mickey Mouse win, you can shove it and try to win it next year with your team. Is all I gotta say. Next
I
year,
don't see why anyone would think that. I mean,
I don't know.
they won
but-
more game. They won. They had to win 4 games in the playoff to
Yeah.
get there.
I think a lot of people are hung up on the fact, and I understand this. It's like if the playoff did not expand, they wouldn't have been in. They wouldn't have been able to like showcase this run that they had. So like I get that, but like to your point, they
Yeah.
also had to win the game.
They also beat Oregon, who would have been in the championship game in the BCS.
That's the
They
thing
beat
for
their
me.
ass.
That's the thing for
you
me.
can't
like,
use that argument if they beat
Yeah.
the team that
Yeah,
would.
it was 31-0 at one point in that game.
Yeah,
That-
they
that's the
lost
point,
to them
yeah.
by a field goal at a neutral site, and then at home they lost on the road by a field goal earlier in the year, and then at a neutral site, they kicked the absolute shit out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it showed that except for when they play Michigan for some reason.
Yeah, that
gets
Ohio State's
Don't
like the
understand
best team
that.
in the country. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're the best team in the country this year. If you take out that Michigan game, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Like, and so frankly, like, yeah, you could say like, oh, they wouldn't be in the tournament, but like, this is why this expansion needed to happen because people have always said like, oh, it's to give teams who normally wouldn't have a chance to get in. It's like, yes, but also it's to give teams that are around the same talent level as teams that are in the top 4 the chance to compete and actually show that they are better teams than they are in this case. We saw that with Ohio State. So
And I mean,
the
the Michigan loss isn't that bad.
I mean, it's not, especially like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that ridiculous of a loss. But it is just like if you take that game out, if they just find a way to win that game, even if it's close, like, are we really even questioning this that much at all? Like, is anyone even saying anything about it? Not really.
No.
So, but
Yeah.
hey. Good
Yeah,
for
I
them.
mean, I'm excited. I'm happy about it. Got the merch on the way. National
Of course,
merch.
of course.
Had to get a T-shirt. This is I've never
yeah.
done that. I've never done that for like conference championships or anything. So I figured let's just do it this year.
If your team wins a championship, I feel like you have to order as much. Like,
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, do I need this like vanity mirror or vanity plate for my car?
Vanity plate.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no. But yeah, I agree. I think like this tournament is perfect because we get to see like Penn State. I mean, like I'm not trying to like bring this up to like torture you or anything. It's just like they had a good run in the playoffs. Like we could see Penn State do that like the past few years, but unfortunately we just had the 4 teams. Like it's just you get your 3 or 4 SEC teams in there, so all people down south are happy and they can shut the hell up about the SEC should run the tournament. So like, it was perfect. I mean, besides like SMU and Clemson, I think all the teams were pretty deserving that were in there. Indiana, I guess, I don't know.
I mean, they deserve to be in there.
Yeah.
Here's a hot take about the playoff, though. The team that didn't get in, that was most deserving, I think the biggest playoff snub was not an SEC team. It was Illinois.
Yeah, well, what was their final ranking at the end? Like 5?
I just can't believe Dalton said something good about
His
Illinois
reaction
because
was literally
Honestly,
going,
because
You
Luke
put
Outlier-
Illinois and Alabama on the field together. Who wins that game?
yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because you were just like, I hate Luke Altmaier more than that. Like
Yeah.
Luke Altmaier is your Quinn Ewers to me, and that's why I thought it was
He
funny
just-
that you said Illinois.
He just single-handedly fucked me. So
No, I
many
know. It's
times.
just funny
Yeah.
that's. I heard you say. I know you like Illinois though. Still, it's just funny that you. It's like
Everything. I mean, it's a great team. They just
no, they're a good team. Yeah, they're a good
Quarterback.
football team. Good football team.
But
Yeah, it's funny.
and I think it'll just get honed in even more next year, hopefully, with
Yeah.
how decisions are made. I mean, you would hope they would, but we've seen how the past few years have gone.
We've also learned that Ohio State to win a national title just has to have the format change, and then they'll
Yes.
win. So,
I literally, I was thinking, I was like, damn. So like in 10 years, when it expands to like 14 or 16 teams, I don't have to wait for that.
yeah, and I have to wait for them to do something.
Yeah. So
Funny.
did they win the first BCS one too?
I don't think the first BCS, no, but
no.
the last 2 format changes they've won the year that they changed.
When was
No.
the BCS? Because it was 02 was their championship year.
Shit, that might have been.
Was it close? I don't think was that the first. Now I gotta know.
If it was, that would be freaking nuts.
First BCS championship. 1998, 98, 99, yeah, 98,
Yeah.
99 season.
Tennessee.
Which was quarterbacked by, I want to say, what's his name?
You got it. I have it right here too.
Crap, I'm trying to think of his
Do
name.
you want the first initial of the
No,
first name?
it's T. Martin.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why I know that, but I do. Anyway.
T. Martin
Yeah.
with used to be a very regular Raiders Rooney Rule interview.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah,
For
he
like
was. Yeah, that's right.
3 cycles in a row, they'd bring
That's
him
right.
in.
Yeah.
You know what I just found out, and I feel kind of like embarrassed for even announcing this.
Love it. We love this.
Heupel, the head coach for Tennessee, I did not know he was a quarterback at Oklahoma and that he was like this dope ass quarterback down there.
No, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a good
I
quarterback.
had no idea because
Doesn't
every time
look
I
like
saw
it.
him on TV, dude, I was like,
Not
this
athletic.
is your like suburban white dad that's like going to his finance job.
Well, to be fair, like that was a lot of quarterbacks for a long time.
That was, you're
Let's,
right.
if we're being honest about it, like
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
if Peyton Manning couldn't throw the hell out of football, he would be selling insurance. Guess
Yeah.
what he's doing now? He's hawking insurance on everything
Yeah.
he does. Freaking
Exactly.
Every commercial I see with him is whatever Nationwide. Is that what he does? I forget which one it is.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean,
So-
Jared Lorenzen, the hefty lefty. I
Love
mean, that
that.
dude should have played left tackle, but was quarterback. It was awesome.
yeah, whatever works, man.
R.I.P. Jared Lorenzen.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other
Bring it.
thoughts?
Or are we thoughts on the season first?
In thoughts on the season?
Bad, terrible,
Bad.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Jake, what were your thoughts on the season?
It was pretty good. I mean,
Good
it was
record,
really bad.
That's because Jake is the only one that's close to 500.
It was, yeah. I came on over the last few weeks. It was really
Yeah.
bad to start.
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
But I finally was able to read the board like the last month. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I improved from the first season. So
Yeah.
I'll take that. You know,
There you go.
maybe next year we'll break 500. I haven't broken 500 in 2 years, so it's not
Next season.
not great overall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a
the record
struggle.
says it all.
It
Yeah.
was a struggle. went way negative on units, dropped about 14 units, even with paying out in the national championship game, still way negative. And I mean, yeah, just hard to pick upsets this year. I feel like that was something that was a lot easier last year. This year, just hard to find them. Just a really weird season in general. And then parlays were just rough. I feel like I was one off on my half the weeks this year in college football. So maybe next year.
Yeah, we just need to find our Georgia Tech of this year for next season and just start smashing the.
I think part of the problem now, though, too, is the fact that, like, whether we want to believe it or not, I think the transfer portal and NIL and all this stuff is affecting how you want to bet on the sport now.
Oh, 100%.
More so than I think we realize on the surface.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I'm not sure exactly how I want to adjust that moving forward, but I do think it is a factor that we have to try to consider in some way.
There's just a lot more parity.
That's what I'm getting is there's a lot of teams that can now kind of build up their rosters in a way that they couldn't do as easily before. Like you look at Indiana this year, obviously, it's kind of the big example of a team that has never gotten this much success in the season, really ever. And all of a sudden, now you're looking at a team that makes the playoff out of the Big Ten that you wouldn't have thought it would have been them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think coaching is going to be huge. Like the coaches that can bring guys in, and just you can bring in the right coach and turn things around very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely fun to see like all these guys get together when they play, and like you get to see these guys finally get their cut of the pie. But I don't know. I hate to say this, but it's also like taking some competition out of it a little bit too. I think amongst some of the conferences, but it's also making some more competitive teams, I think. So I don't know. I think the richer are getting richer in cases, and the poor teams are trying to keep up, and some of them get lucky, and I think we're going to see more Cinderellas coming up in the tournaments. I think like you might have like your 5 to 8 teams that are 10 to 11 wins in, and then we might start seeing some like 3-win teams get in there and make their little Cinderella run because they got 1 or 2 guys out of the NIL or out of the portal. And so I don't know. Like you said, I think there's going to be a lot of difference when it comes to betting college football next year, and it's just going to get stickier and stickier. So, but way too early futures. And I have one in mind, and I don't think it's too crazy. I'm taking Notre Dame at plus 1,200. I love Marcus Freeman. I mean, what he did, like the whole playoff, like you thought right when they were out, like all right, Notre Dame's done. There's no way they're coming back. Then all of a sudden, it's like, what the hell? It's tied, or they have a field goal lead. I think as much as Riley Leonard had some heart, and man, he really is going to try to get you that first down. I think they're going to be better at the quarterback position next year, and be more. I don't even know. Like they'll be able to throw the ball around more. So I think they'll have some more plays there to go off of. And plus 1,200, I'm taking Notre Dame this year or for next year.
Yeah.
Anyone else got a future for next year?
It's also Jeremiah Love.
Yes.
Who I love.
Ironic.
I know. I just have one future, really just vibes. I put South Carolina to win the national championship. Plus 4,000.
Beamer
I
ball.
like that.
Just vibes. But plus 4,000, We'll see.
That's funny you throw South Carolina out there. I want to let Dalton go up next to keep things in order, but I have 2 futures to talk about. So
Yeah,
Dalton.
I was kind of stuck between 2 teams. I was thinking about going Texas, just because they are returning a fair amount, but missing a lot of guys in the offensive line. It's kind of the worry for me there. Also, it will be Arch's first year as the guy. So I'm making the pick I did make is because I hate money. I'm taking Penn State plus 900.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah.
They instilled way too much hope in me during this playoff run, and everyone coming back now. Pretty much that entire offense is coming back. Like the whole offensive line.
They do need to replace receivers, but you assume they'll do that.
But the receivers were worthless anyways, so
right. They might need to be a little bit less worthless without Tyler there, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah,
I know the tight ends are still good there, but
Yeah, I think the tight ends will be all right. But yeah, I think you hope that offensive line taking another year, and bringing both Singleton and Allen back. It shouldn't really matter. You should be able to just really dominate with the run game. And then I think defensively, that defense is always going to be one of the best units in the country. I don't care who's the defensive coordinator or what players you got out there. They're just loaded. So I feel like they're the most primed team to make that jump next year.
It'd be fun for me to cover that if that happens. So I had two that I wanted to throw out there. One for my just too early championship pick. I'm going Oregon. It's kind of easy, but I feel like what they did this year. I thought they were going to do it this year, and I think they're going to be able to figure it out. I really like Lanning as a coach. I think he'll be able to win the Big Ten again. No offense, Casey. I think them and Ohio State will battle, but I'm a little. Even though I know both of them are going to have new starters at quarterback, I feel a little bit better about Oregon's system working out. Mm-hmm. And as much as Ohio State has a ton of offensive weapons, I think Igbuka is going to be a loss as much as Smith is the best receiver there. And, obviously you have plenty of talent there at receiver still, but I'm just curious if it's going to be quite as good, especially with the quarterback change. And then one that's I think is a fun one, Heisman future. Talking about South Carolina, Jake. Lenore Sellers at plus 1,800.
Nice.
Is a usually really productive year this year. Really fun dual threat quarterback. That's always going to be a guy that has a chance to win it. There's no freaks at corner receiver anyway, like doubling up at that. And running backs. I'm sure there's plenty that'll put up good numbers, but probably not an Ashton Gentle level season. So. Probably quarterback's got a good shot at it again, and that's my bet on that. I think Manning and a couple other guys are higher up on the leaderboard there, but I just trust that a guy like that has the dual threat ability will be a little bit more up with that. So.
Yeah, he's the main reason I took that bet.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, I took Jeremiah Smith as a Heisman plus 1,200 because
I don't know why he would do that, guys.
I had to take it. I think by the end of the season, or towards the end of the season, that's going to be like a plus 300 or so. So I'm hoping it's like an early cash out situation. So I'm going to get it while it's high. And like you said, with with Emeka out or gone now, I think that he was our guy that was if you needed a first down, or he was getting the main 6-7 receptions a game, while Jeremiah Smith might get 3 to 4, but they're for 70 yards apiece. So yeah, it's going to hurt missing him. But I think Jeremiah Smith can pick up some of that, and hopefully Carnell Tate comes back. So
yeah,
but all right. So long to college football. Sucks, but we'll have another season next year. So let's get into what we're here for. So football we still have, and a game with a team that we probably didn't expect to be here. And we'll start off with the NFC Championship. We have the Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles at 3 Eastern. I'm just going to get into it. I'm taking the money line on the Commanders on this one. Fuck it. I'm running plus 235. Let's get it. I don't care. The Eagles are either going to lose outright or they're going to just destroy the Commanders. I'm hoping they're losing outright. So Commanders, money line plus 235. Ride the wave. Jaden Daniels, you're the next Lamar Jackson, but you're actually going to get to the championship. So let's do it.
Burned.
Yeah. I'm doing the same thing. I bet the Commanders money line both of their playoff wins. So I
guess who's been right.
Yeah, Jane Daniels is the truth. Their offense as a whole is just insane. And I got him at plus 230. That's
Yeah.
pretty good value for an Eagles team that almost lost to the Rams.
Dude, I
last
thought I
night.
was gonna be right about my goddamn Rams upset.
I know.
Dude, you were
I
I
so
was so mad
close.
when
I
they
was
decided
the
not to
same boat.
freaking they decided not to block Jalen Carter for some goddamn reason the last two plays of the
Yeah.
game. So
If,
mad
I
about that
honestly
stuff.
think if they just block Carter on that, Rams probably, because if they score an extra point, wins the game.
Yeah.
And the Eagles were up by 2 touchdowns in the second half in that.
Yeah,
So
I know.
they're a vulnerable team. Yeah, that and the Texans losing by 9 really
Oh yeah,
hurt.
keep
Ooh, that
second
hurt.
half never in doubt, guys. Never in doubt.
You know what? And that would have freaking I would have went 5-0.
Yeah.
That freaking
Yeah, it's always how it goes. But yeah, I think I don't know. Commanders have too decent of a chance to win this game for plus 230. So
yeah. And there's supposedly no snow, which favors a little bit better.
Dalton, are you gonna break their hearts?
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
knew it. I figured I knew it.
I mean, one, I got to double down on my future.
I know.
With
Yeah.
the Eagles, but also like I don't know, like yeah, the Rams made it interesting, but that game I don't think was really that close. I mean, the Eagles were pretty much the better team the whole game. I'm taking Eagles -6 against the Commanders just because one, I think the Commanders, I don't think they can keep that offensive output like they had last week up, and I don't think it's going to translate as much going from playing Detroit in Detroit, which, to be honest, I think if that game's in Washington, I think Detroit wins that game. I think the environment was very beneficial to Washington. I think going to Philly is just going to be a rough time for them. And
What do you mean by that?
What?
What do you mean by that? Like it was a good environment for them to play in Detroit, like
Playing in a
fan
dome.
wise, or playing in.
Dome.
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
I was
They don't
wondering if
put
you
up
meant
those
like
points.
playing in a dome or the
Yeah.
fan like aspect of it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
think playing in
I
a
get
dome
that.
was huge
Yeah.
for them, especially like with Detroit's playing style. I think Detroit would have been better off playing outdoors and running the shit out of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Eagles this week because I mean Saquon Barkley is on a mission right now, and I think he's going to carry that Eagles team to a Super Bowl.
Fair enough. I have the Eagles winning, but I do have the Commanders covering the spread. I feel like this is going to be a weirder game than we think in terms of
Yeah.
how this game plays out. Like I know you said, Casey, you feel like either the Commanders are going to win outright or they're going to get blown out. I don't necessarily think that. I think both of these offenses are going to have some amount of trouble because as good as Barkley's been, I think that the Rams, for some reason, just simply cannot do anything against him in this season specifically. By the fact that he ran for 460 yards against them in 2 games, which is
Yeah.
stupid, the dumbest stat I've ever seen in my entire life. So it feels like even as great as he's been against, obviously, the Rams, like he was great against Commanders in the regular season too, for the most part. But I feel like they're going to need a little bit more out of the passing game to put up as many points as they did against the Rams. And the Commanders' offense, I do expect to take a little bit of a downturn. One, being outside, being on the road. And also one thing that I think I haven't heard a lot of people talk about is Sam Cosmi, their best offensive lineman, is going to miss this game as well. He's out for the season from injury last week. So that's something that they have to contend with. He's been the best player on that group that's been better than people thought it would be, both in pass protection and in the run game. So I do think they're going to make it a game. I think it's going to be a fun game overall, but it's probably going to be a little bit lower scoring than I think a lot of people would think, and I think it'll be closer than a lot of people think. So I'll take Commanders plus 6.5 on that.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, the injury hurts, and I think I'm going to take over on whatever Daniel's rushing yards are for that because I think he's just going to be scrambling.
Smart.
So just be on the
Smart.
lookout for that. Anyone else have any thoughts from this game before we move on to the AFC Championship? Nope. All right. So next, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs, 6:30 Eastern on Sunday. I'm taking the underdog again. Give me the Bills money line plus 104 in a toss-up game. I know I harp on this all year that betting against the Chiefs is the stupidest thing you can do. And I know it's probably going to bite me in the ass doing it, but I just cannot help myself but betting on the Bills here. And I don't know. Call me a hater. I don't care. I'm just tired of. I'm tired of it. I just want someone else in there. I'm tired of seeing Mahomes. I'm tired of the Chiefs getting away with these freaking Mahomes throwing 150 yards, but they're still winning because the defense is freaking unreal. Like, I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of seeing this crap. And I know I sound like a baby back bitch right now complaining about it, but I don't care. I'm taking the Bills money line plus 104.
Hey, at least this year, Casey, you won't have to have it happen to your team.
Exactly.
At least there's that. So it's
Yeah.
so it's not as bad as it normally would be for you.
You know what? The playoffs have been a lot more enjoyable, I think, watching this year, knowing that I don't have to worry. I don't
There's
have to watch.
there's an aspect of that is true. I think
It really is. I don't have to worry about
Yeah, I mean, you want to root
Yeah.
for them sometimes, obviously. No offense,
Yeah.
Dalton and Jake, but it's nice to have the pressure off sometimes. I knew
Yeah.
that the Ravens were going to kick the shit out of the Steelers, so I didn't really care that much. So I didn't have to worry about it too much. But especially once they're out, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to watch the games. This will be great. I don't care.
Imagine being a Ravens or a Bills fan last week. How fucking
Sucks.
nerve-wracking that would have been all week,
Terrible.
waiting for that game to happen.
Yeah. So yeah,
We
I
didn't
get
have
it.
to worry about that.
Nope.
I've never had to worry about a divisional playoff game. So
True.
Yeah.
True.
I have no idea what it's like.
I'm literally the last divisional playoff game the Raiders played in that I remember.
Was the 12
Probably
and 4
the- I
season?
mean-
Did they play the wild card or the divisional game? Was that a
No,
wild
they
card?
they went 12-4, but Connor Cook lost the last game of the regular season, so they lost the division to the Chiefs. That was the first
Okay.
year the Chiefs went on their run of just never losing the division after.
Okay, I was going to
Well,
say,
back
'cause,
with
I
the
thought
playoffs.
that was a divisional game, but I guess it wasn't because that was against the Texans, wasn't it? You guys lost that?
Yeah,
Right. Okay. So never
the
mind.
Brock Osweiler.
Gotcha. Anyway, sorry, Dalton. Go ahead.
The only ones I remember the Tuck Rule game, and then yeah, that's pretty much my oldest memory. I mean, I think the next year, they did play in a divisional playoff game, but I think that one, if I remember correctly, that one came on past my bedtime. I think because I was 7.
Nice. Well, wasn't the next year the year that they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Bucks?
The year after the Tuck Rule, yeah, we had a giant Super Bowl party at our house that year.
That's right. Okay. I
Yeah,
thought
we
so.
had the game on in three different rooms in the house. Had a shitload of people over, and it was the most disappointing fucking.
I'm
shit.
sorry to hear that. Actually, that sounds terrible. Now,
Especially because it was against Gruden.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I would not be able to if that's the equivalent of if the Steelers traded Tomlin to some NFC team and they just went on a freaking run and we somehow did too, but then he knew all of our secrets and just whooped our ass. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
That was the best part. Made zero because it was Gruden's staff was still coaching the Raiders. So
yeah,
and
They didn't
made
change him.
zero adjustment.
incredible stuff.
They ran
Incredible
his
stuff.
plays.
I know it's just insane to do, and insane just in case this happened. You should not do that shit. It's so funny. It's honestly one of the funnier storylines in the history of the NFL is doing that and then not changing anything at all except for just him not coaching the team. And it's what are you doing? They went to a team that was already good. They clearly just need an upgraded head coach, and then they went to the Super Bowl against you. What are you doing? Oh, that's funny. Sorry. Anyway, off topic.
Yeah.
Who are you betting on, Jake?
I'm taking the Bills money
Hell
line at
yeah.
plus 105. Me and Casey are both just going for underdogs this week.
Yeah.
Chiefs probably gonna win because Mahomes doesn't lose in the playoffs at home. But I just think if there's ever gonna be a time that this Bills team beats the Chiefs in the playoffs, it has to be now. I can't think of an opportunity that's better. And I know the Chiefs only lost one game, but in my opinion, they're the most susceptible they've been in the past 3 years in the playoffs. So I don't know. It's plus odds. It's in Kansas City, so I'm a little, the home field advantage will be tough. But if it's got to happen now, if it's going to ever happen. So I don't know.
So I get to be the no fun guy again. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Dalton.
This is how it goes
Get
every
your
week.
Band-Aid off.
I'm taking Chiefs minus 1.5 at minus 115. Did you guys see that Warren Sharp piece about penalties in the playoffs for the Chiefs?
I'm not
It's
gonna lie. I
crazy.
read the first one, and then I saw there was a thread of it, and I just logged.
The difference.
I didn't read
Casey
all that.
logged out,
Yeah.
shut his
It's
computer off.
insane. The difference in penalties called and yards, like for the Chiefs versus every other team in the playoffs over the last 10 years, it is insane. Like the difference. Like most teams are like +1 or +2 or -1 or 2, and the Chiefs are at like +9. And most of the difference is in judgment calls too, which is even more shady. It's like honestly at this point I think it's hard to say it's rigged, but it's also hard to say it's not at this point. So I'm taking the Chiefs because I think they're supposed to be the team that wins this game. So I'm taking them, and I'm also parlaying both the money lines for Chiefs and Eagles, and I got those at +143 for both them to win outright. Because I'm betting on the least fun matchup, the matchup that no one wants.
See, that's the problem, and I'm unfortunately there with you, Dalton. I'm also taking the Chiefs minus 1.5 because at the end of the day, I don't consider myself the smartest person on this planet, right? However, smart people bet on the Chiefs to win playoff games, and I'd like to be a smart person today, so I'm going to do that. That's literally what it kind of comes down to. Is again, like, until I see this Chiefs team lose a playoff game that's meaningful against a non-Tom Brady entity, I'm going to assume that they can't do it, that they're just not capable of losing. And specifically, I think the difference in this game and what's going to be the case, because we've already seen it in this matchup before, is we've already seen Josh Allen go toe-to-toe with Mahomes and honestly outplay him in a game before in the playoffs, in my opinion. And it didn't matter because the coaching wasn't good enough. McDermott is not a good enough coach, in my opinion, to outcoach Andy Reid in the important moments of a game. I think that's going to ultimately be the difference where even though Joe Brady's done a really good job with this offense and Allen's done a really good job of being less reckless with the football, especially in the regular season, the playoffs he's really not been that reckless in general. But I think in the biggest moments, McDermott's going to go conservative and Reid is going to go either, even if it is conservative, it's going to be the smart decision at that time, or he's going to be aggressive and make the right call at the right time. That's what I think is going to be the difference. You could say it could be the penalties, like you said, Dalton, too, which is whatever. But I just think that this is a better coached team and a good enough team that it'd be different if the talent difference was huge, but it isn't. That's the thing, especially defensively. I think that they can win this game with their defense controlling the clock and just being a better coached team.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I think America's rooting for a Commanders-Bills Super Bowl. And
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want this. Just to be clear, I will take my loss this week if it means I don't have to watch the same matchup from a few. Because the worst part about this, I pointed this out on the Steelers show today that I did, where we were picking the games just because, what else do we have to do? And I said, I'm just going to be very clear. I don't want what I'm about to say to happen, but it's just the smart thing to pick at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's just, again, it is a repeat matchup from a few years ago, and it's a worse one. Because this Eagles team is not fun to watch outside of Saquon Barkley, in my opinion, especially offensively. Yeah. Defensively, they're fun, but this version of Jalen Hurts is not putting up 35 points on the Chiefs, and this Chiefs offense is just tremendously awful to watch play football. It's incredibly boring to watch play, but they're going to probably win anyway. So I don't want to see it, but that's probably what we're getting realistically.
The only difference is we don't have the turf guy from the Kansas City Chiefs putting in the turf for the Super Bowl. So the Eagles can't complain about that if they do lose in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs this year.
They'll find something to complain about.
They'll find something. But
Jalen Carter will punch Mahomes in the face, actually, not even as a hit. He'll punch him in the face and then complain that he got a penalty or something.
Yeah.
That's what will happen, probably.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
But we do have a touchdown parlay. I guess this will probably be our last touchdown parlay of the year. We could probably do one for the Super Bowl, but it's going to be hard to get four different guys.
I think for the Super Bowl, we should each do our own individual, 2 or 3 player touchdown parlay, and just try to like mix and match like what we think will happen individually.
There we
That's
go.
what I think would be fun. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Or we could each pick
Well-
like a wild prop and parlay those.
oh, I'm definitely
There we
prop.
go.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
a good
There's a
prop
prop that I
parlay.
still cannot. I'm still mad that I didn't do years ago. Do you remember the Super Bowl that Edelman won the MVP for the Patriots?
Yes.
I was gonna put down $100 on that because something about it made me feel like he was gonna be the guy, and I didn't do it. I would have made like a couple $1,000, like because his odds were like plus something thousand, like it was insane. I'm still mad about it to this day. So I will be doing props for sure.
My favorite one that I hit is in the last time the Chiefs and Eagles played each other in the Super Bowl. I
Mhm.
put 10 on an octopus. Same player
Oh,
to
yeah.
score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in the same game. And I was
Oh.
like, and it was at plus like 1,800 or something like that. So it was like a
Okay.
$180 payout. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because in that one, there were so many candidates. I was like, this has to hit.
Yeah. And
'Cause
then
that was push.
True. True.
but then we'll also so I guess on the 5th, then our show on the 5th, we'll do it'll be a Super Bowl extravaganza, and we'll basically
yeah.
just unload
yeah.
the clip on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be finding all sorts of shit that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Like like exact score, fucking
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah. Why not?
Doinks. I love
Doinks.
betting. I love betting on a doink in the Super Bowl.
Hey.
So
Yeah.
Especially if Buffalo's in it.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Can we bet on wide right, perhaps wide left?
I'm sure you can.
Now, you need a wide left so you can complete the
Yeah.
whole thing. There you go.
So we'll do our last touchdown parlay as a team here for the season. We're 1-19.
Whatever it would be. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
that one is all
18.
that matters, though, guys.
Yeah, I think we're like 1-19 or something like that.
Think
or
about the
1
positives, you know.
Yeah. But I'll go ahead and get us started off, and I'm going to pick a guy that has become kind of a safety blanket for baby Lamar Jackson, aka Jaden Daniels. I'm going with Zach Ertz, and going against his old team, like it's just a perfect storm. He has been coming on as of late, like these past couple weeks, just like I said, because for some reason Jaden Daniels just loves finding him in the end zone. So I'm taking Zach Ertz.
Nice. Going another tight end. I'm going Travis Kelce plus 125. This just feels like a game that Kelsey's going to score a touchdown in, even though he's old.
Hey, didn't
Very
slow him
old.
down last week, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a playoff game. I gotta bet on Kelsey, especially at plus odds.
Yeah.
I like it. So I'm going in that same game. I'm going in the Commanders-Eagles game. I'm taking A.J. Brown score touchdown. Believe he's at plus 125. So really, I think it was going to be a Saquon game, but I do think at some point the Eagles are going to be down in the red zone, and Washington's going to sell out to stop the run, and they're going to get beat by play action, and A.J. Brown's going to win. Not because he's going to get a one-on-one. He's going to win, and that's going to be it.
fair enough. Let's see if Jalen Hurts can throw more than 7 passes in this game. 'Cause that's my
Yeah.
over/under if I had to set it. Because I am a little worried about him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, from a health perspective, at this point, more than anything else, like the knee was weird at the end of the game there. But no, I like that still for Brown. And then I gotta go Scary Terry. I think Commanders are going to, like I said, make this a game, and I think he's going to be a big reason why they do, if they do. And as good as the Eagles' defense has been this year and the Eagles' secondary, like with McLaurin, doesn't really matter. I think that dude can score on anybody. So
Yeah. I'm happy that he's finally got like something.
a quarterback that
going
can play,
Yeah.
except for like 1 minute of Carson Wentz or whatever it was. I think like he
Yeah.
was sort of okay for a minute for them.
Yeah. Like it seems like I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but things seem to be going in the right direction in Washington. So I'm happy for Terry there. But if you were to take Zach Ertz, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Travis Kelce this weekend, that's plus 4,777. So I think that's one of our higher parlays that we've had this year where we didn't have some crazy like outlier that Shane threw out that he just kept hitting on in the beginning of the season.
Dude, that was a great time for me, and it was
Dude would be
mostly,
like, all right, this defense, and
Will,
they would
it was
hit.
just Will who played Will Levis. That was my
Yeah.
strategy for a minute. It was just like, oh, we're playing Will Levis. What meme is going to happen this week?
Yeah.
What meme are we going to get? Like, that's that's all I had to do. I was like, this makes sense to me.
Poor Will
but-
Levis.
We were in the Steelers show. I mentioned earlier today. We were talking about like potential like trade options the Steelers could look at,
Oh no.
and my co-host was like, "What about you take a flyer on like an Anthony Richardson if the Colts want to give up on him, or Will Levis?" And I'm like, "Here's the thing,
I would love to see Anthony Richardson in Pittsburgh.
yeah,
That would
but-
make my day.
right. Here's my thing though, right? Is like with Levis specifically, it's like, would he be very cheap? Yes, you wouldn't have to probably give up very much. But would it also be the funniest quarterback that the Steelers could ever have on their team? Absolutely, because he's the antithesis of everything that Mike Tomlin stands for as a football coach.
Yes.
He's everything he hates about the sport in
Yeah.
one person. He is overly aggressive, turnover prone, and an absolute meme of a person. Like
Yeah.
that, it's impossible. It's the worst combination of coach and quarterback I think you could ever have in the NFL. But would I also be kind of down for it at this point because it probably would mean they'd lose like 11 games? Yes. That'd be very funny. But I still went with a no on that one. So
Yeah, I would not want him anywhere near my program, but
get
so-
that man out of here.
yeah. But I think that's it for this week. Anyone else have any other bets before we end the show tonight? No. All right. Like I said, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. We got 3 games left to the AFC NFC Championship and then Super Bowl here in 2 weeks. We're going to find out if we can bet on the Pro Bowl. I don't know how, but we're going to try to figure out a way. If not,
Find a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
guys.
we will find a way. But obviously, I'm sure there's another golf tournament we can bet on. Obviously, basketball, hockey. But so we'll definitely have some bets for next week, and then obviously, like I said, on the 5th we'll have our Super Bowl episode. So tune in for that. But we do appreciate you guys watching tonight. RIP to the college football season. We will see you next year. And thank you again for watching episode 71 of Around the Book Podcast.